Hey, my name is Scott and I've been working in sales for the past 15 years. And for the past 6 years, I have been running my own tech recruitment agency in the UK. And in those few years, I have done over £1 million worth of sales, which I think is about 1.1 or $1.2 million. And there is one question which I always seem to get asked by other business owners who maybe don't have as much experience when it comes to sales as myself. And they want to know how to get more leads and sales as they struggle to get clients. So if that sounds like yourself and you want to get more leads and sales and win more clients, then this video is for you. In this video, I will be taking you through the sales process, which I have used throughout my career. And I would say this is the framework that has helped get me to £1 million worth of sales in my own business. I will run through who I would try and sell to, how I would try and sell to them, and of course, what I would say to them in my sales pitch. So let's jump into the video. I always say when it comes to business, getting your first client isn't actually the hardest. It's getting the second, third, fourth, fifth, and all that kind of stuff. That is actually the hard bit. Anyone can fluke the first client, but it's trying to use the leverage from that first client to try and get more leads, which are going to turn into more sales and more clients and all this stuff, and hopefully turn into a load of money. We have a videography business that we have, and we do videos, and that's the service that we are going to try and sell. So hypothetically, we've done our first client, and our client happens to be, let's say they're a law firm. So our first client is a law firm. Great, awesome. We've done our first client. But out of here, what can we do to use this client as a case study, and where can we go to try and leverage this deal that we've done and this client to try and show that we can get similar clients who probably have similar needs, and to try and get more leads and get more interest from other people. So first of all, we're going to try and go for competitors. Makes sense, right? Next up, I would say we're going to go for people that are local. So the other thing that we're going to want to try and go for is neighbors. We'll go for the neighboring business. Neighbors, oh God, neighbors. So we're going to go for the neighbors. So that might be people who look like they operate in the same way. Obviously, they're going to know who they are because they're neighbors, and we're already in the area, so it makes sense to try and go after people that we're in the same area of. But even within a law firm, I mean, there's going to be people that operate in a similar way. So if we're saying neighbors, we could go for other professional services. So professional services. So we might say, I mean, if a law firm wants a video, then I would say that a professional services company like an accountant, they would probably want a video too. So if we've done neighbors, I guess we can do something which is the opposite. We could go for other firms that are out of the area. So we could go different locations. So if we are working with a law firm in London, why not try and go for another law firm on the other side of the country, because we already know that they use their service. Even using a law firm, we could niche down. So let's niche down. So we could go even further niche within a law firm. So we could go conveyancers, we could go, I don't know, divorce lawyers, medical negligence, or whatever it's called, criminal lawyers, and we can go and make ourselves even more niche within that area and seem more specialist. Who else could we try and get leads out of? I mean, we could try and go for their clients. And the reason for this is they'll know who that client is, that law firm that we've done some work for. Chances are their clients are going to be of a half decent level, and they can refer us or recommend us and say that we're good. And it's an easy call to reach out to people and say, hey, you've probably seen us, we've done work with whoever this law firm is. I should probably give them a name. I'll probably just call them ABC Law. Let's call them ABC. ABC Law, sounds nice. We could also look at referrals. So we could get a referral from whoever it is we worked with at this law firm to try and get more leads. We could look at social media. We'll try and see if there's any social media that we can get. So maybe a shout out or repost or something like that. This might look fairly random, but within this, there is method behind the madness. So what I would do when it comes to neighbors, I used to do something called a 20-20. So 20-20 is you would go and leaflet drop or door knock on 20 businesses either side of the person that you're working with, because you're already in the area and you want to try and get some interest. Different location, so we know that they use this service, this law firm. Chances are, if this one uses it, another one in the same country is going to use it. Competitors, again, it's the same thing. We can go and work with their competitors, so we know if their biggest competitor is ABC2 law, then we could say that we're working with the other ones. Their clients is going to be a nice potential easy call to make. And then professional services, it is a pretty educated guess that we know that other companies are going to work similar to them. Within the niching down, we can pick more verticals. The referrals is pretty self-explanatory because that's going to be nice and easy if someone can refer us. But from this, I would say it's fairly likely we could get at least 5 decent leads out of all these options. So if we say we've got 5 leads and we times that by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 5 times by 8 equals 40. So there we go. We've got 5 decent leads. Well, we've got hopefully at least 40 decent leads, which should be somewhat warm and easy to reach out to. And we are hoping that there should be a half decent level of interest here as well, given that we've done some kind of half decent research and there is method behind the madness. We've worked out what leads we're going to try and go after, but how are we going to try and go after these leads? Well, obvious one would be a sales call. And if they don't answer, we're going to try and email them. So it's unlikely on the first go that we're going to get through to the decision maker. So we'll probably end up having to try and find out who the decision maker is and send them an email. We could also door knock. If they don't answer, they don't want to speak to us over email, we might door knock if we're in the area, because that has a pretty good chance of success if we're there and they're in. So we could door knock and drop off a leaflet if they're not there. But we might be able to speak to someone else and get a referral, which I like to call an internal sponsor. So we might have to do some selling to someone else who buys into the idea. They might not be the person that signs it off, but they have a pretty decent say and they can be what I like to call an internal sponsor and give us a thumbs up. So we might also try and reach out to people on social media. We could social media. So we might try Instagram, but more likely we're going to try LinkedIn because that's more professional, and we can also find out decision makers' names and who we want to try and speak to. There might even be strategic partnerships. Strategic partnerships. You're going to say, what's a strategic partnership? Well, that might be someone that we work with who does something completely different to us, but it has a complementary relationship and we can try and help sell for each other. So for example, we might be doing video sales, but we might have a friend or a contact who does web design or web development, and they might have a relationship with someone that we're trying to reach out to. So we could try and have a what I guess is shared BD, business development. And we might be able to give people referrals. Either we might say, I owe you one, or we might say, hey, if you can get me a meeting with that guy that does this, I'll give you £100, or whatever it is. Again, most of these are pretty self-explanatory. So the door knocking is the 20-20. We're hoping to try and catch someone and have a face-to-face meeting. I usually like these odds. I usually think there's about a 25% chance of me converting these into business, usually in my own business. The referrals, again, that's like the sale before the sale, and we're trying to work our way up to the right person. Strategic partnerships isn't always easy, but it can work. LinkedIn is kind of similar to the email, which is going to be, cold email. The sales call is going to be a cold call, but we're going to do a call and then we're going to the email, and then hopefully we can get the decision maker, so we can get the DM, decision maker's email, And then from there, we can try and do a sales call again. So it'll go, receptionist, probably don't want to give us any information. And then it's like, okay, but we can find out who that person is on LinkedIn anyway. Then we're going to go and try and do an email. We can probably work out the email anyway, even if we don't get given the email. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different ways of trying to make this sale or make an introduction and try and get some kind of touch points. Usually, I think they say on average, according to research, a sale needs 7 touch points. So if we do all these once or twice, there's a pretty good chance that we'll get some interest. So if we think we've got 6 things here, we've got 6 actions, and we've got 40 leads, that's going to make sure that we're busy. So we've got 40, 80, 120, 240 different actions. So that is going to keep us busy, and hopefully this isn't going to be wasted time. This is all very well thought out. We're going after hopefully what we think is the right people who are going to be interested in our service, people who use our service, people who are going to know the original client, or people that work in a similar way. So again, it's all very well thought out. We're not just going to be sitting there calling random people or messaging random people and trying to sell a service which we don't know if they're interested in. I mean, we could do that. I've done that in the past, but it is much harder than having some kind of plan of attack. So if we get into a situation where we could potentially make a sale, or we get to speak to a decision maker, we're going to need to make an intro of who we are, what we do, and why we're there, what the value is of us. So why do you want to work with us? What do we do? I guess, again, to a degree. And then here we might try and do a close. Can we work with you? Do you want to work with us? Are you interested? I hope you are. Whatever it might be. And then we're going to try and qualify further, depending on what they say, obviously. There we go. So I'll go, hi, I'm Scott at so-and-so, whatever my company's called. I'm Scott at whatever it is. And there's going to be the value. So the value might be, we work, or I work, we work with a medical law firm on their brand awareness. Obviously we can make this better because we say, oh, we work on a brand awareness, so what? So the brand awareness and helped them generate, I don't know, 100 sales. So we might have done 100 sales through video. They might have got more leads that's converted to sales. Obviously we want to try and track this and try and find out what this might be, so we can make a good value claim. On the close, there's so many different things we could say. So you might say, are you looking for more leads? I know you're looking for more leads because you're watching the video. Hopefully they'll say yes. And from there we're going to say, who signs off? What are you interested in? Pain points, etc. And we're just trying to gather info because we want to know what we're going to try and sell. Because we might be able to sell a package of social media videos. We might try and sell video for the website. We might try and sell, I don't know, it might be just a tour of the building for their recruitment page, whatever it is. We want to find out what it is that we're going to try and sell so we can improve things. But even here, I mean, we can go back and we can make many different claims or make things relevant to whoever we're speaking to. So we might say, hey, I'm Scott at, I don't know, XYZ video. That's terrible E. I'm Scott at XYZ video. We work with medical law firms. That is them knowing what we do, and that's going to be something that's relevant. We work with them on their brand awareness, and we've helped them generate 100 leads. We might say, we work with a top 100 law firm on the same street as you, just down the road. We might even just be generic here and say we work with law firms up and down the country to help them increase their brand awareness and generate hundreds in new sales. And then from there, the close is pretty much going to be, it might even just be something simple saying, are you interested? Oh, missed an E there. You might just say, are you interested? But the main point here is trying to make sure that we drive home value. The intro bit, I mean, that doesn't really matter, to be honest. Sometimes I've done sales calls or meetings where I haven't even said my name or what company I'm from. I'm just gone, hey, I was in the area, I work with so-and-so down the road. I've helped them do this, this and this. I thought you might be interested because you work in a similar industry. Is that something of interest? Or I might say, and then from saying, is that of interest? They might say no. I might say why. They'll give me some info. They might not be the right person. They might have just used another video company. From there, I can work out how much they've spent. Has it worked? Has it not worked? And from here, we're just trying to get more information so we can gather info. And from there, we can learn pain points and find out what we can do. Because it might not even be that we're going to try and make a sale with this person again, but we might get enough info that we know what people are interested in. And from here, we can keep refining things so that we have a very smooth pitch. So when we do get that opportunity to try and sell to someone, we have a strong value proposition that we are going to put in front of them. And that is pretty much the framework that I have used myself to generate over £1 million worth of sales, and that I have developed over a 15-year period of my sales career. If you have any questions or want to know more, comment below and I will come back to you as soon as I can. But anyway, that's enough from me, so I will see you soon